Yeah, hello, this is Trooper Joe. I'm right here on Wednesday at B4 in a return to Chivalry. That's why I want to thank everybody for calling in. Well, you can't really call in. We ain't got that hooked up yet, but that's coming in. But tuning in, and I want to thank everybody for having a good time, because when you have a good time, that makes me have a good time, and I enjoy having a good time. I certainly like me. But you know, before I start on what I want to talk about today, I think I want to talk a little bit about some of the issues that are going on out here in the world. I want to just not bring awareness, but I want to vent a little bit. I think these things that are happening, like riots in church, come on. It's a church. If nothing else, it's a sanctuary. But it's a church. It's a place where people go to commune with God, or whoever they want to call God. This is where they go. This isn't where you have riots. You know, I understand that the pastor may be making huge amount of money driving Rolls Royce and have all kinds of fancy thing and money and stuff like that, but the people in that church, it's like this, people, you don't have to riot. You can go down the street to another church. God is in all churches and in all things. So if you really have some kind of complaint against the pastor making all these money, having ATMs in his church and stuff, take a look at what your religious tenet is. It may not be keeping in line with God. It may just be keeping in line with pushing a button and a capitalist society. So people, there's no real need to go and have riots and a lot of entertainment for a whole lot of people out there in the country, and because it goes viral and all these things like that. Got nothing to do with God. Zero. No riots in church, folks. That's a place of prayer. You go in there and you meditate, you pray. You might be crying for a loved one that's gone. You might, who knows what your reason is going in there. But if your reasons are to go in there and make a whole lot of noise and do a whole lot of craziness and stuff like that, folks, you need to take a look at yourself and see if you really consider yourself to be a good person or a nice person that we're going to talk about. So that's what I want to say a little bit about the churches. But then again, while I'm on the churches, you pastors, you're not all that right either. If you're the pastor, you're supposed to be the shepherd of the flock that you have right there. And their welfare should be your utmost concern. And don't take that shepherd of the flock as a literal sense to where you're just fattening them up so that you can sell them to the local eatery or something like that. You're supposed to be taking care of these people. You're the shepherd, they're the sheep. You're supposed to be bringing them closer to a connection with God, not closer to a poverty line. You know, and you got a Rolls Royce and they don't even have a bus pass. They got to sneak on the bus. You know, it's like, hey, you know, you're not a pastor, you're a poverty pimp. You know, that's what you are. Sorry, you might have went to theological or whatever school it is you went to and learned a lot of verses, and you got a real great way of coming across as being a righteous kind of person and stuff. But are you a pastor? You're not a shepherd of the people. Not in my eyes anyways. So me, I wouldn't go to your church. No. I wouldn't make any complaints about it either. People have free agency in this world, and if some people want to go to that church because they've been going to that church for 100 years before you even got there, that's all right. But if you're going to be the pastor, take care of your people. You know? Take care of them. Don't fatten them up for the slaughter. Just take care of them. They're your responsibility. So all you pastors out there, take care of your people, man. There's a lot of people suffering and stuff like that. Take care of them. And not just once a month. I mean, take care of them literally. They're your people. That's a calling that you take on from the heart, not a calling that you take on from the right cheek of your butt where you keep your wallet. You know, that's not cool. It's from the heart. The thing that I'm concerned with is the overabundance of technology that's in our cars. It's really concerning now. It's become commonplace to just, oh, I'm late for work. Okay, I grab my cell phone, I grab my computer. Oh, I didn't do this thing last night. I better get that done. Well, I get it done on the way to work. You're not in a bus. You know, you're in a car. Drive the car. Don't turn on your little computer and stuff like that in the car and start typing a big long email letter and stuff, or doing any of those kind of crazy things like that. You're in a car. Drive the car. You know, that's what I'm saying. Drive the car. And people, you got to use a little bit of your own initiative and your own brain. You have to take responsibility for yourself when you're driving the car. The GPS, a great invention and stuff, but sometimes things go awry with the GPS. Like, I don't know what happened with this, the last head-on collision with the lady going the wrong way. 5 people died. That's just wrong. That's an accident, but it's still wrong. Was technology involved in this? I don't know. I would think it was. No, but I don't know. But I know it's wrong, and I know there's 5 people dead, and they were very people that, all of them were in college. One was, she was going to be she was pretty much a psychiatrist or something like that. She was going back for a postdoc type of thing, and you got 4 young minds coming up in the world, all of them wiped out. And I'm thinking it's because of the amount of technology that just comes with you. It's all right to have your technology, but if you're driving a car, drive the car. It's a 2,000-pound machine that goes fast, but it doesn't stop fast. But it goes fast. And when it has to stop on something else, it stops hard. So drive the car, people. Keep me safe. That's what it's all about. Trooper Joe needs to feel safe on the road. So put away your texts, put away talking on the radio, on your little telephone, and seriously, don't check your email and don't look up things on the internet. That's just crazy. I can't even look up things on the internet sitting in my house. I don't know how to do that. Some of you people might be really good at this, but when you're driving a car, drive the car. And don't do your homework, all you students and stuff. Do your homework in your house. Your car's not your house. It's a car. So do that. And be cautious right now, because in a couple of days, we're going to have a whole bunch of scary looking little things running around out there trying to get candy from people. Halloween, they're going to be scary. And so if you're driving your car and you're texting and you're doing all kinds of silly things like that, and you walk up on somebody walking slow with their hands out like that, and you've been watching Return of the Dead on your cell phone while you're driving your car and stuff, it's not real, folks. It's one of them little scary kids looking to get some candy off of people. It's Halloween's coming up, so you got to be extra cautious. You know, put down all your little technology things when you're driving, because all those kids need to come home and be safe, because dentists need to make money too. You know, so this is how that works. These kids need to have that fun and that joy, and they need, because you know, these kids plan this stuff. They start planning on who they want to be back in July. You know, it ain't a random kind of off the wall type of quick thing that, oh, I'm going to be a princess anymore. There ain't none of that. back in July, well, I'm going to be a vampire, or I'm going to be a werewolf, or I'm going to be something like that. And they start putting together their little costumes and stuff back in July. It's not even really about the candy. That's just the ritual that associated with it. It's the planning of the costume. They wear their costumes the first day of school if they let them. I mean, they want to show these things off, so it's up to you adults to make sure that they get an opportunity to feel safe while they're running around and darting in and out of dark areas and doing all kinds of crazy things like that. So make sure that you keep them in mind while you're out there driving your car on Halloween, right? And it's coming up. We had a very interesting thing yesterday happen on Voice of the Voiceless. I thought it was interesting. We had a caller call in on Voice of the Voiceless, WCUW 91.3 FM. And you can listen to us on Tuesday from 12 to 1. The whole crew's there. You know, there's Mike Talk-A-Lot, there's Nate Peter Ghost, there's Trooper Joe, there's Keith Lador, Keith Laporte the door or something like that, whatever. Yeah, he's there, and you know, and then Will is here with me right now. You know, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. So you can tune in. But we had this caller call in because he's a white guy. He's a white guy. He's going to go out there and dress up in blackface. You know, the old-fashioned kind of Chittenden type of musical revival type of stuff. He was going to go out there just to make trouble with blackface, it seemed like. You know, the guy, he had to be like in his 40s, I would guess, by his tone of voice and the way it was. And it's like, I'm like, are you serious? That's just, it sends a bad message all the way around. And it's like, yeah, you go out there and you're going to make a lot of people angry. And like I told him, somebody's going to put foot in that behind, because there's a lot of people that's going to take that really bad. It's a real nasty kind of offensive thing to do. But he called in and apologized and stuff. So that was a good thing to do, to call in and apologize. That was the right thing to do. So anyway, now let's get into the show. Today I want to talk a little bit about the difference between kindness and niceness. They are not the same, folks. They are not even closely the same. This is kindness and niceness. Many people think that they are the same, but they're not. They're totally two different things. Let's look at kindness. Kindness is generosity, right? This is how it is. Everybody is generosity. But the generosity from kindness usually comes with people seeking a reward for their own self. That reward probably not going to be a monetary reward. You know, it's going to be something that they're going to use to increase their status or make them look better in the eyes of whoever they're trying to make themselves look better, in their friends or something like that. That's how that's going to work. That's part of kindness, you know. So, you know, it's like charity. Everybody's supposed to give to charity, right? Yeah, if you want to. But most people give to charity after there's a disaster. Here, all these, what do you call these hashtags? Send your money over here because there's a flood over there, or send your money down here because this is happening, and all you have to do is push this button and stuff. And people do that and everything, and that's fine, and that's a very, very good thing to do. But you ain't doing it because you love the people. You're doing it because you can have something to tell the other people who didn't do it, and you think it moves you up one rung on the ladder of the status, puts you at a higher level. Well, yeah, I gave. You didn't give? No, but I did. And then the people, they give their old clothes, you know, which is all right. Some old clothes are very nice, but they don't even put them inside the clothing thing anymore. So you know it's not about the giving of the clothes. It's about you. You put it in a bag and you bring it down to the clothing thing and you just dump it right there in front of the clothing thing. You don't know if it's going to rain, if there's going to be bugs that's going to get in it now or anything like that. So it really has very little to do with doing something for somebody else, because if it did, you could take that extra 1 or 2 seconds to put it inside the container where it'll be safe and easily picked up. And then there's the food drives that people give. I love the food drives. I love the food. I ain't never seen so many cans of tomato paste in my life. What are you going to do with all that tomato paste anyway? There ain't that much spaghetti. You know? I've never seen so much tomato paste in my life. People love to get tomato paste for food drives. It's like, yeah, everybody wants tomato paste. I don't know what they'll do with it, but everybody needs some tomato paste. That's right. It's like, I know your hearts are in it. Your heart ain't in it. Again, it's just for you. Oh yeah, they come by with a food drive and I stock up on this tomato paste. But I start waiting, because I know they're going to come around Thanksgiving. So I start stocking up on tomato paste to give them way back in February. Yeah, they come, I have plenty of tomato paste to give them. And that's good, that's good. There's probably a need for tomato paste, but it's not about giving, you know. That's totally about you. But don't stop doing this, folks. Don't let me sway you. Don't stop doing this. If you got clean clothes that no longer fit you, you know, give them to some people and everything, and they'll clean them. And there's a lot of people out there who need that stuff. And if you got tomato paste and stuff like that, give it to a food drive or a food pantry. And you know, there's a lot of people out there that need tomato paste too. And then there's the panhandlers on the street. I know we had some panhandler on the Voice of the Voiceless, a couple of weeks ago, and he said he was all for the panhandling and stuff. It's like, it's for you. You give your little dollar to people. What do? There's a lot of people, you know, they give their dollar or whatever it is to the people. They're the fourth car at the red light. They sit at the red light for about 10 seconds, and then they call the guy over. You're the fourth car in a line of about 15 cars. The light turns green. The guy hobbles over there because he has to keep up his appearance of being so disheveled and so needy to get that dollar. You have like 11 cars behind you, and you give this guy a dollar, and you want him to say thank you, and then you want to have a brief conversation with this guy. Who's that for? It ain't for the guy with the dollar, getting the dollar. That's totally about you. That's all that's about. Don't do that, folks. If you don't do that, that's just a nuisance, you know. And then what do you do after you give the person a dollar and stuff? You either think it to yourself out loud, or when you get around somebody else, and if the conversation comes up about panhandlers, you're going to say, oh yeah, I give a dollar and everything, and I know they're just going to go out and buy some alcohol or drugs with it and stuff like that. Second thing out your mouth after you say, yeah, I give, then you're going to say, yeah, I give to them so that they can further their addiction and the things that make their life miserable. Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. You're not really helping anybody. So let me go on a little bit more about this this kindness. This is all kindness, folks. This is what people consider kindness. They're being kind. I'm being really facetious, but they're being kind, you know. And then there's physical kindness. There's holding the door. People do that, you know. Oh, they hold the door for somebody, and then they look at them like, I held the door for you. You better say something nice to me. I held the door for you. And if they don't say something nice to you, you know, if nobody's looking, I'm sure they're going to flip them the bird or something. You know, it's like, don't do it, folks. If you can't hold the door simply because you want to hold the door, don't hold the door. It's all right. But if you're going to hold the door, don't expect somebody to turn around and say thank you and shake your hand and everything. Because that's what you're looking for. You know, and that's okay. You can do that. It's quite all right to do that because that's what we do a lot of. And then there's the personal physical connection. This is the one I I actually have a little bit of a hard time with this one here. The kindness of giving a hug to a depressed or sad friend. Like, you don't even like the person. How many times people out there, I know there's times when you say, oh, yeah, the Joneses, they're really going through a rough time and everything. I wonder if there's something I can do for them. But you ain't thinking that. You're voicing that aloud because you're at a party and there's around 10 people around you. So you're going to do this here. Now you're stuck. So you go over there and in a couple of days to the Joneses' house and you got all this big kind of sighing type of thing, and the arms go out and this serious hug comes on you. I've heard about your misery and if there's just something I can do for you, just let me know, but don't say anything. Please don't say anything. You know, and it's like, if you don't want to give that hug to them people when they're having a happy day, you don't have to go over there when they're depressed and sad and had a bad turn of luck. That's not kindness, folks. That's all for you. Address your own little issue that you have with yourself, with your depression and stuff, because that's basically what you're trying to do, is get that hug so that you can feel less depressed. And then you go home. Yeah, I sure helped out those Joneses. Did you see how I put them arms around them Joneses and stuff? But them little nasty kids, they got done around.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, yeah. Will.
This is a truth from the 5 o'clock shadow. Truth. My question is when you do something nice for someone,
yeah,
and it makes you feel good,
yeah,
is that wrong?
No.
So, like when you said you hold the doors open for someone and you expect something from them, it's almost like you just want to know that you did something nice for somebody.
Yeah.
So so you're saying it becomes more about me than about the person that I'm opening the door for?
When in the regards of when you're doing it in the idea of I'm a kind and nice individual. You can't be both. They're not the same.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
They're not the same. So the kindness you're bestowing on the person by holding the door isn't really a kindness if you're looking for them to say that thank you and a smile like you did something that was really grandiose or something like that. It's not. That's not a kind. It's a kindness, yes, but it's for you.
Yes, it's an act of kindness. Where the word act comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's for you. Because what's missing in kindness, and we talked about this before on the show, there's 3 elements plus 1. What's missing is courage. It takes courage to be a nice person. Kindness doesn't come with courage. You don't really need any courage to be kind. You just need some kind of situation that arises that you can do something that perceives to be a kind gesture. Risk. There's no risk in doing those, unless you're the person in that 4th car, got all these people backed up behind you that's going to miss the light. You better speed away after you get that dollar. So there's no real risk, and that will lead to the next one, danger. There's no danger in that. Because how many times if somebody's depressed and sad, remember about depressed and sad and giving the hug and everything, a lot of the times when people are depressed and sad, it's because they've been having a marital situation. There might be a battered woman or something like that. If you're a real true friend and your friend, you know your friend's getting punched around by somebody, and the kind act, this is what I would consider nice, because it's a chivalrous act to do, is go over there and confront the person and tell them, let's stop that nonsense of you putting your hands on this person, or you got to talk to me. I know I say that because I'm big, but You don't have to be big to do that. All you have to do is let that person know that there's eyes watching you do this. You're not doing this in a vacuum. You're not bringing this sadness and this depression on these people. Granted, the hug is nice after that, but that's nice then. But to go over there and give that hug and everything because somebody's depressed and somebody's like sad or something, and it's in a way like that, and you actually aren't doing anything, that's what's missing from the kindness. There's no danger. There's no risk. There's no courage. And then love. All those things show love. That's really what the person in the physical thing wants, is some love. I don't know what the person on the street wants because I don't know their situation. The panhandlers on the street. Granted, there's many of them out there that's just panhandling. I don't even know what reason they're panhandling for. I see this little girl that's out there. Well, she looked like a little girl. She's an older lady, I guess. She's probably in her mid-40s. And she's out there walking the streets and everything. But she has no intentions really of trying to get anything. It's like she got her little sign and she thinks this is what she's supposed to do. You know, I'm homeless and I have all these problems and stuff. And she's out there every day down on Chandler Street. You see her. Yeah. She probably was a very attractive woman. I don't know what her situation is. But she walks the street. She never approaches a car. She never asks for anything. She just got her little sign. And she like, loop de doo de doo de doo doop. And she just going about her business. She's probably one of the happiest people in Worcester. You know, she's right in there having a good time like that. So, and if you give her money, I'm sure she'll take it. I don't know if she knows what to do with it, but I'm sure that she'll take it. So sometimes your kindness really, it wouldn't make a difference in everything. Be much more kind to say to her hi when you walk by, or if you're walking or something like that, or give her a smile. I think she'd appreciate that a lot more than money, because I don't think she'd know what to do with it. So let's talk a little bit about niceness. Okay, let's have a song and then we'll go a little bit into niceness and stuff. So we're gonna put